But bhog I can't miss. I had managed not to eat. But then there was a time I had just taken luchi and aloo, my like this bite, and the entire theatre started clapping. If I eat, everybody gets happy, right?
Yeah, so we're going to be very, very popular, I think, now.
In this last 40 years, I have faced a lot of fan moments.
Yeah.
But this was not that. Every Sunday, for my entire team, to my staff, biryani, mutton biryani has to come. All the anchors, all the journalists, they say, Mumbai only eats dahi and kira. But it's not that true.
But in your case, both are aging so well, like fine wine. And I think...
going to jump over it. Irfan and Nawaz is a trendsetter.
Yeah.
When we went to schools, like we used to have 50, 60 puchkas.
So Prosenjit Da is somebody who is constantly grilled about how he looks so young. And today we actually have on the table the secret, which is grilled food actually, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I actually didn't want to ask you because how do you look so young? How do you look so fit? Because I know every interview of yours starts with that. And we are so honored to have you at our table.
Thank
really,
you
it is
much.
so wonderful to have you here. What a legend.
It's all healthy food, yeah.
Absolutely healthy food and a very healthy life, I think, also, right?
Yeah,
so
that's very important.
Yeah. And obviously it's not just food though that's, got you looking like this basically. I'm sitting very close. He's taken a 6 a.m. flight. He's had many shoots the days
Not
before.
6 a.m., 2 a.m. from Calcutta.
2 a.m. And he still looks very fresh, and I can attest to it sitting like right here and up close and personal with him. Other than the grilled food, what do you think is the secret to these youthful fresh look?
No, I always prefer that you should have little healthy food and not too much of junk.
Yeah.
And it's for, normally I say it's not for the actors, for everybody. And take out your little time for your exercise.
Yeah.
Don't do unnecessary late nights. Unnecessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for work you have to do.
Yes.
That's our profession. But otherwise, try to be take care of yourself.
Correct.
And a bit of exercise and avoid too much of oil and all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it's been a practice now. You see. For us, people like us who are working for the last 40 years, then at a certain point of time, it becomes your practice.
Yeah.
So now even I go for a party or a social gathering, even they know that he is not going to eat, but he's going to spend time with us. So nobody makes any kind of a pressure that, Dada isko le lo.
Yeah.
So they know I will have a black coffee with me and I will spend 2 hours chatting with them and be with them. So that's it.
Yeah.
A bit of...
Keep it simple, basically.
Keep it simple is the best way. In a way, I believe that, you see, whatever we do, today's date, whatever my ma or my, grandma, they have taught, I think that is the basic thing. If you can follow that, it's okay, it's great.
Yeah, and I think it's wonderful that so many people are coming back to that kind of wisdom actually.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we're all realizing, oh, they were right.
Yes.
So, and I think it's a great moment for them also to realize that they were right. We told you so, basically, which all mothers like to say. And another thing that we were discussing, other than your very healthy lifestyle, which keeps you going, and which has kept you going for so many years and have received at so many phases of your career. And you were sharing a wonderful story about a 15-year-old boy you were talking about.
Of course, I had a lot of fan moments and all, but this is not a fan moment. I just came to know a few days back from my office that a parent coming and asking to get some time. I said, okay, fine, I'll give you. Then I came to know he's not well because he has a mental problem and he got a blockage with me. With me and my name and with my song and with my firm. And he's a 15 years kid. Then I saw that it was doctor's prescription, that too also from Bangalore. So at least it's written there that whomever he is dreaming, if he can meet, he will be better. So I made it a point to meet him. So I met him for 1.5 hours. He was with me. I told him, study. I'll meet you every 3 months. In this last 40 years, I have faced a lot of fan moments.
Yeah.
But this was not that. It was more close to my heart. He was singing my song, he was dancing, he painted a lot of things.
Wow. No one has shown us love with many aspects of grey and with many different sides to it than perhaps you have. You know, you've started off with obviously very commercial cinema. You've moved into, you know, actually my husband came up with this line, so I have to give him good credit. He said, "You are like an Irfan Khan who has the popularity of Amitabh Bachchan." You know, so I thought that was a great line actually.
Thank you.
And
my
I
love
think,
and regards to him.
yes,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
thought that was very true. You know, because you've managed to actually bring both those worlds together essentially. So how do you still manage to do that? And tell us a little bit as we let us also let
Yes.
you have something to eat.
My film got released Ajogya.
And looks very, very interesting and something we can all identify with many ways. With
So the
COVID.
film, I have 2-3 sequences with my mom. You know, Bengali has that culture of in the breakfast, luchi.
Yes,
and,
yes,
you know,
yes,
bhaji
yes.
and all. I'm talking about the audience, not my industry people. It was a pretty long scene. I had managed not to eat. But then there was a time I had just taken luchi and aloo, my like this bite, and the entire theatre started clapping.
Oh,
You know, it's like
everyone knows about you.
like not Prosenjit. Bumbada is eating luchi and aloo bhaji. It was like that was
A seminal moment basically in cinema. All your
I'm
work
sure
is done
the
now.
people
Yeah.
around the world, Bengalis will say Bumbada is eating today.
Yeah.
We are happy. If I eat, everybody gets a little happy. Right?
Yeah, so we're going to be very, very popular, I think now. I'd love to know your take on Kolkata biryani. Is it one of your favorites?
Every Sunday, for my entire team, to my staff, mutton biryani has to come.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't
If
give a
we're
break.
ever there on a Sunday, please call us.
No,
also.
surely. I mean, you know, from our childhood, like biryani, of course, I had biryani everywhere. It's very good, especially in Lucknow and all. But Kolkata makes a very different kind of a biryani, which I think everybody like, and it's not that rich kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of brand came in Calcutta for biryanis. You have that typical proper biryani. You also get biryani which is for Bengalis.
Yeah. Very good. You made that distinction.
Yes.
Yeah. And they take it very, very seriously, basically. I mean, you all take your food extremely seriously, actually, I think.
And
right?
Calcutta people love eating
Yeah.
food. And
I mean, who can blame you? There are so
the
many
sweets
things
to everything,
from
right.
sweets to everything, even your great Chinese food
Yes,
also.
Chinese
And
is
then, of
like-
course, your biryani and your rolls.
Chinese
and-
is like you have a small city, town, which is like China.
So, I mean, obviously now I'm sure if you go on you can't go out on the streets and eat and, you know, or can you?
One thing is very famous in Calcutta, you know, fuchka.
Of course.
Fuchka, it's like you have to have fuchka kind of a thing. So normally fuchka is again a treat. If you have a holiday in the afternoon, after lunch, in the evening, sometimes it happens that we get the fuchka wala inside the bungalow and everybody comes and they have it.
So it's like a party basically.
Fuchka party.
Fuchka party,
Yeah,
I love that.
When we went to schools, like we used to have 50-60 fuchkas,
Oh,
like betting. Fuchka is a bet
yeah.
with the friends.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
How many
yeah.
you are having, how many I am having. It's like a
50, 60.
50-60
Oh
fuchka.
my
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, that
So I think you're making up for all that now, basically. You're like, I've already eaten enough in life. I better diet from now on. Actually, when did this transformation happen? Like, in the sense, were you always very fitness oriented, or did it, you know, start a couple of years ago?
No,
or when
I've
did
been
it start?
always like this.
Okay.
So it all started like a meet you have in Calcutta.
Yeah.
All the anchors, all the journalists, they say Bumbada only eats dahi and kira. That's my tagline. But it's not that true. But I've been very, very conscious, basically. I'll tell you a small story. Like when I was too young, when I was doing 3, 4 shifts. So my mom used to stay a little far away from me. So I used to ask her to come and stay in my flat. So when mom comes, normally she used to make food, right, for a dinner.
Obviously,
In
yeah.
the morning I used to get out by 7:30, come back at 2:30 after the shoot. And maa ne khana banaya, matlab I will eat.
Yeah.
So after 4 to 5 days, I just came very seriously to her and I told her, Ma, you decide what you want to do. So what? I said, you want to stay with me or you want to go back to your own flat? But why? I said, then don't make food every day. Otherwise, I'm going to eat. Because if you make something which is special, I am going
You
to have
can't
it.
say no,
and
right? Yeah.
And you know that you will have a little overeating kind of a thing.
Correct.
So I said, okay, once in a month you can come and make it, but not regularly, please. Let it be with
How
my...
did she take it?
No, she was okay. I understood. Okay,
Oh,
I will
that's
not
very
make,
nice.
Yeah, I will
Oh.
not do.
So she
things.
didn't give you like emotional blackmail
No.
after
She used to
that?
come to studio. All my colleagues were like, is her son and daughter kind of a thing. She's a very good cook. Used to bring in Tiffin Carrier a lot of food for them.
How sweet.
And they all used to come and eat, and they knew that he's going to maybe take a one bite from that. Especially on my birthdays, afternoon and all, she used to come and serve it for everybody from the unit to all. But I used to have my own quota. I'm just conscious from my, I will say from the beginning only.
Wow, that's nice. So it sounds like your mother's love language was food actually.
Yes,
and I think for a lot of us, that was their love language. That's how they express their affection. And that's why food is so important also, because I think it connects us with a lot of memories of people as well, even if you don't eat much of it. It's just all that love.
If you eat something, suddenly you feel like, hey, Ma used to make something like this.
So much nostalgia.
Yeah.
And talking about nostalgia, the other question, of course, which everybody asks you is, the fact that you and Rituparna ma'am have done 50 films together. But I have a theory why both of you all have done so many films together and are continuing to do so many films together.
Please tell me, because I don't have.
The theory is both of you are looking great constantly with each other. Both are aging so well, like fine wine. And I think
going to jump hearing it.
She's going to jump with joy, or she's going to jump with...
jump and enjoy.
But I mean, I'm sure she knows this, right? So what are her secrets? Because obviously you're somebody who spends a lot of time with her. Or is she the opposite of you? Does she just eat what she wants to eat?
She eats, not much, but she eats. And normally people ask, what is the, you see, minus point of Rituparna or Ritu, the same question. What do you see the minus point? Her normal answer, she doesn't eat. So like that's the normal answer from. But I'll tell you that even she is conscious about it, and she's a dancer, and especially this maintenance start after a certain time. When I crossed 40, it was different. When I crossed 50, it was different. But I was also telling that if you see the Bombay Star, even South, or the people of our age group, I think they look better now. But when we used to do it, we were not having any kind of a support.
You had to kind of figure it out. You had to figure it out on your own, basically. So, were you joking when you said that you have no theory as to why both of you all are like such a hit pair? You must be having some theory, otherwise you wouldn't have been such a hit pair for so long.
No, honestly, if you ask me, this is a very common question. But I tell two things, but because on the screen, you see, I have also done so many films, like without Ritu also. Ritu had also done so much of work. Our body of work is huge.
Massive.
But my point is that, can somebody, a pair only can do 50 films without
there being some
audience? The final thing is the audience, right? And I sometimes really think that when we were doing Praktam, especially after around 14 years gap, that it's the generation, 14 years. Even after that, when the Praktam got released, morning 7 o'clock show, houseful. The same thing happened with our Ajogya. It was the day when our Honorable Prime Minister was taking over. There was India-Pakistan match. But our opening was Touchwood. So I think this is audience who gives us, who has been giving us that we want to see both of you. So maybe the part was different when we used to do mainstream film, cinema. That was different. But we used to always coordinate. As I was discussing, we never had those lot of costume designers.
Correct. And that actually brings people closer, I think, in those days, right?
It was something very natural. We used to talk, acha ye gana hai, to chalo, let's make the costume like this, all those stuff. Then we used to tell our team to make it, get the material from somewhere with the shirt, I can wear this shirt, she can wear this same color sari and all. So that was a time.
So it's like teamwork actually.
Yes, but now you see we have people who will make a color plate, who will talk to the camera department, this is the look. So the thing has changed. We have seen this changes also. And we were blessed that we could really manage to be going on with these changes. Like, if you see Ajogya, Ritu has had no makeup in that. In a way. I have done a very different kind of a look and thing. So, and we were lucky to have good directors with us. In Bengali, from a long time, producer always told that this pair is our Lakshmi pair. So your responsibility level goes high. By this time, I think last 10, 12, 14 years, I had worked in a very different kind of cinema. As you mentioned, Ritu also had done the same thing.
Correct.
So I think now when we come together, it is more of two matured actor and
Yeah.
actors coming. And
Which people clearly still love to watch.
yes, and
Yeah.
with the time, with the correct age, we should not try to do something which we have done maybe 15, 18 years, 20 years back.
We've seen you in Jubilee, obviously, with people like Apar Shakti. So who are those young actors who you really look forward to actually interacting with now and working with now, and who you would like to maybe also work with in the future?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not only OTT, or I'm not talking about the OTT in Hindi. Believe me, I think this is I'm not joking. I mean, when I watch some of the even Malayali or Marathi, then the kind of performance these guys are giving,
Yeah,
these youngsters,
yeah.
they're giving us challenges,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I always say, when I meet Nawaz, let me tell you, not now, I'm talking about long back.
Okay.
I always say, you are a trendsetter. Irfan and Nawaz is a trendsetter.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Indian cinema always believes that hero has that image of a
Correct.
very, heroish.
He has to fit a mold, hero
But
mold. Yeah.
I think these two guys, Nawaz and Irfan,
Shattered the
they changed that. They were the beginners. basically,
Absolutely. They were really the trendsetter actually in that zone.
And both of them are great actors.
Absolutely. And you're someone who's seen cinema evolve in so many ways. Sometimes you were in Bombay as a youngster also, Mumbai as a youngster. And this place where we're sitting in today also has a bit of a story to your journey as well, from going from Mumbai to Kolkata, coming back. So tell us a little bit about that. What does Copper Chimney really signify in
This
whole
Copper
thing?
Chimney name, of course, I will tell
Yeah.
you very honestly, when I was being asked that we are having this discussion today in Copper Chimney, it reminds me my childhood, because for holiday when I used to come, it was a very normal thing going for dinner, especially in Copper Chimney in Worli.
Nice. Okay.
So a lot of celebrities of that particular time
Yeah.
used to come to Copper Chimney. So when I normally used to go from this side, this name, it takes me
Back to
those
days. Yeah,
days,
it's an old school kind of.
I hardly used to get time from my dad. He
Yeah.
was also very, very busy star
Yeah.
at that point of time. So
It's
I
been
feel
in your
good.
mind. I'm sure at that time there must have been so many. I mean, you must have been obviously very young, but do you remember? We all think of Bollywood at that point, like being this very glamorous sort of place with these old school movie stars. But do you remember it being like that even as a child? Like were there dinners at fancy houses and star parties and things
Yes,
like that?
of course, I
Yeah.
had seen a lot of star parties in our place only.
Who was the guest you always liked to
all,
have?
always. I mean, we
Yeah,
were kids.
yeah.
Like, it's a very closed door party. I'd seen Dharam ji, to Jitu ji, to Sanjeev Kumar ji, all of them, Hema ji, Rekha ji, lot, Rajkumar ji,
Yeah.
all of them. Like they were very close party, and my dad was on 14th December was his birthday. The same birthday was with Raj Kapoor ji.
Ah, yes, I
So
remember.
what they used to
Yeah.
say that 14th December my dad will celebrate. He will celebrate on 15th.
Nice.
And so that kind of a thing. But all of them used to come.
Yeah.
And
It was a very tight-knit industry, I
Yeah,
think,
and that
also at
party
that
was more like a homely, Ghar ke andar, chat ke upar, that kind of a
Lovely,
thing.
yeah.
Sunil Dutt ji.
So if someone had to come, to Kolkata, like for example myself, I've never been, unfortunately. What would be the top 3 things that you would actually suggest to someone who's coming there for the first time and wants to actually explore the city in terms of eating?
Very difficult.
Difficult, yeah.
I
it's
mean,
tough to
3
choose,
things
right?
is too difficult.
Okay, 5
Because if
things.
you start, of course, I'll first say, which is normally everybody says that, Kolkata dahi, Mishti dahi, which is. And nowadays, Mishti dahi, there are a lot of combinations, combo. But I'll say that Mishti dahi is that original Mishti dahi.
I can never get enough of it.
In fact, I will ask somebody to have Chinese from Calcutta, from a proper place.
I'm down
That
to
too,
do that.
not the new ones, different
Yeah.
the old restaurant. You will feel that Chinese. What is Chinese?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we discussed a very different biryani,
Yeah, correct.
and you feel light also. Even if you have a one packet of biryani, you feel full, but it will not give you any trouble.
Yeah, it's satisfyingly full,
Yes.
not too full, basically.
And you should have a full meal of Bengali, from sukto to aloo posto to all of this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And fish, of course.
Yes, and fish, of course. So, what's your favorite kind of fish? And excuse me if my pronunciation is wrong. So, is it rui or is it hilsa? Like, which one will you choose?
Honestly speaking, I used to love hilsa.
Okay.
Well, we say ilishmat. So I used to love ilishmat, but I can't take it. It's too fattening.
Okay.
So in a way, it's rui mach. We say katla mach, which is a smaller version. Rui mach hai, doi diye rui mach hai.
I don't know whether you get time to cook because obviously you're a very busy man. And is there any family recipe or any recipe that you feel that you'd like to share with our viewers today?
Honestly speaking, if you ask me, yeah, I know the recipe because I told you my mom was a very good cook.
Correct.
My sister Pallavi, she knows maybe 80% of my mom's recipe, but I can try to cook that doi mach what I told you. And she used to make another very nice thing, which is vegetables. Basically, it's a veg thing. But in that, she used to put small fish in, very small piece of fish, and we say it is a kind of a chochari.
Yeah.
You know, mix kind of a thing. So that is fabulous. That's fabulous.
Nice.
That was her own recipe.
So she had her own take on it, basically. And that's ultimately what it's all about, right? Adding your own take to things. And, you know, in your movie, of course, you know, the fact is that you play someone who is like a house husband. You weren't the superstar that you are today. Is that something you think you ever have been able to do in life if circumstances had been different?
I love to see with, you know, thali, going to bazaar and buying, you know, vegetables.
You like to do all that?
I like to do it because all of my friends are doing it.
Yeah.
I tried also, believe me, honestly, there's a Garihad bazaar and I'm little of that kind. When I was like young also, Arey, kya hoga, Sunday, let me go and buy. I took my own car. And after a certain time, I saw there at least
there was a mob.
2,000 people.
Oh my God.
And I went alone. Sunday morning chala jayenge. Why people will go? Suddenly
oh my God. Everyone must have been like, did they all shut their shops?
Suddenly it became, you know, you are going to a place from your childhood. Okay? Suddenly, if you see that,
correct,
you get a bag like, you know.
That must have been a lot to deal with though, right? It must have taken a whole another level of getting used to it, basically.
So then you start realizing that if even I go to this kind of a place, I need to have somebody with me. Maybe a driver at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one driver is not going to do much for 2,000 people, but okay. At least there are two of you against 2,000 people. But like I said, that's also all the love which comes forward for you. And we're really looking forward to...
Believe me, till now, when I get a scene in the bazaar, that proper bazaar, when I get a scene to do it, I feel very excited.
So sweet. That's very nice.
Though I know that it's a restricted place, people, but I go and talk, acha, ye machli kya hai, ye wo kya. I suddenly feel that this is the life I don't get into it. I am out. So I really feel good about it.
So sweet. It's okay. Next time when you come to Bombay, we'll take you shopping in the market and we'll give you a full like disguise and all of that. Yeah, we can do. I think we'll figure that out. Next food episode you have to do with us like that. I've got it on record now, basically. So next one you have to do with us. I read somewhere that you know, you and Rituparna ma'am have decided that you're going to not give such long gaps between your films. You're going to try and do more films together. But other than films with her, what are the other you know, things you have on your plate going forward?
We decided we'll do films maybe at a gap of at least 2.5, 3 years now. Because the love we get from the audience is like, I told her, when I will be 80 and you will be 70, then also we should do a film that the audience should come.
I totally agree with that.
But otherwise, one film I'm starting right now, which will be releasing on Puja. And in Calcutta, I'm doing my Khaki Bengal. So I'm will be starting another Hindi very soon, which I can't disclose you right now.
I wanted to ask you one final question because you've actually met Kunal Vijayakar, who is the man behind this channel, many years ago, I think on Pujo, and you said that was the only time you actually let your diet go. You know? So is that still the case, or now is even Pujo like restricted, like the food around
No. Yeah. When it comes to Durga Puja, Bhog, Shoptami, Oshtami, Nomi, that I can't miss.
Yeah.
I say, Ma, this is 3 days, I have to enjoy your Bhog. And उसका टेस्ट ही अलग हो जाता है. Believe me. Few days back I told कि आप लोग घर पे सब लोग खिचड़ी बनाते हैं normal. Once it goes as a bhog, why the taste changes? I have no calculation. But bhog I can't miss.
Well, there's no calculation to certain things in life, and that's the beauty of it, basically. So it was an absolute pleasure to have such a legend sitting with us today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that brings us to the end of another wonderful show with a legend. And as always, what we have to say is, आते रहिए, खाते रहिए और पूछते रहिए कि खाने में क्या है.
আসুন, জিজ্ঞাসা করুন, খান, আর জিজ্ঞাসা করুন আজকে খাবারে কি আছে।
Thank you.